Today is December 18th, 5 p.m. A little late recording this, but we're going to go over a little trade recap from this morning. I traded my 3 TopStep accounts and my 3 Lucid accounts. All right. So today on my TopStep accounts, I did have another losing day, 236 times my 3 accounts, as you can see up here. And real quick, over on my Lucid, we did have another losing day. It's fine. You know, we're getting into it. But over here on TopStep, we can check out what I did. So first off, unfortunately, this was set to 5 contracts, not 3. So I didn't see that. So that was already not a good start. But we can see the trade I took was right here. So coming into market open, we had these lower draws down here, which are good for targeting. We can see that market has created a bottom, starting to push up, and into market open we had the 530 CPI that made us break above these draws, or these gaps over here. And above we have a big 15-minute gap, followed by a secondary 5-minute gap above. And so what I did was, market opened, we tapped into this sort of choppy draw, and we reversed down. And so I took a short right here. This is actually a right here. I took a short, I think it was on the 1 minute or 5 minute, and I got stopped out. So I took the short on the break of this 5-minute gap right here. There's a 5-minute gap, targeting this draw and for price to break through this to target lower. I should have waited for price to break through this gap to target these lower draws, but that's all good. That's not what happened. I got stopped out. So we can see I got in right around 184, which is that right here. So I got in right around here. Price started to go in my direction, and I got stopped out. It's all good. And this is the one where I was in with 5 contracts, not 2 or 3. So unfortunately, that made my stop be a little bit tighter than what I wanted, and got out with a loss. Over here on my Lucid accounts, same kind of deal. I got in on ES, unfortunately, because this Shista was not set to MNQ. So a little bit of a scrambled morning, but it's all good. So again, took the same kind of trade. We took the break of the 5-minute gap. Stop was at 10 points. We got in on the break. We had a little retracement, came down. We were shooting towards this draw and this draw, but we ended up reversing, and I got stopped out. It's fine. And we might be thinking, okay, why is price doing this? Why is price reversing? Well, on the higher time frame, on the 15, for both ES and NQ, we'll just use this. So we had this 15-minute gap right here. Boom. Okay, so we have this gap. So price came up with CPI at 530. We came up, took out liquidity right in this sort of zone. We swept out liquidity, and then we came down. So I got stopped out right in this region because I was trading on the 5-minute. 5-minute, we can see there's a break, came down, blah, blah, blah. On the 15-minute, there was no 15-minute candle close above. We were just seeking higher. And so the real trade was to wait up here for a break above this gap, which also didn't happen. So you could have taken a long right here on the break out above, but the better option would have been to wait for a rejection down and then taking the break of the first 15-minute gap right here to go lower, or break of the second 15-minute gap right here to go lower. Boom. That would have been much better. You could have targeted the draw right here, that draw, or you could have targeted internal, boom. And then if you would have taken shorts from either of these, we'll just go from right here, it's right in between, 30-point stop, boom, 30-point, and right here. You would have hit TP, just like that. But again, it's about analyzing the market as it's happening. And of course, when you go back and backtest, you can clearly see that that's what you should have done. But it's about reacting in the moment and understanding the trades you're about to take. Because clearly, price came up with CPI, swap out liquidity. There was no candle close above, so we came back down. We held above this 5-minute gap. We held above this 5-minute gap. I mean, sure, we came down and swept a little bit of liquidity over here, but came up. Weren't able to go above the 15-minute gap, so we swept out a little bit more liquidity, and then we finally pushed up. Price wasn't able to break above this 15-minute gap, so what's going to happen? We're going to break back down. And also, anytime we have a huge move up like this, we're going to come back down. So huge move up, going to come back down. Same goes for this. Huge move down, liquidity, move up. But overall, good day. We learned, we followed our rules, we waited for the gaps, we aren't over trading, we're not over risking, and looking at the performance of the accounts, Lucid, we're only down, $320 after 2 trades. So the account is at $49,680, pretty good. Top Step performance, we're sitting at $16 with a maximum loss of $48,450. So chilling on these. And that's pretty much going to be a wrap on the video. I may or may not trade tomorrow, depending on news. So Friday, tomorrow, 7 a.m. news, orange. We'll see. And then next week, Christmas, going into New Year's, may or may not trade next week. Again, I'm trying to take all 6 of these evals, pretty chill, just going for base hits, trying to make them past going into January and February. Again, going for base hits, $200 to $500 a day, to hopefully get a $20-some-odd thousand payout by end of February into March, just for going for base hits. With that being said, that's a wrap. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.